guys, it's Puppy Lover 863 here. Wait, I'm in the wrong place. Hang on a sec. Oh! Oh, that was a lot less smoother than I anticipated. Hey guys, it's Puppy Lover 863, and yes, it is finally happening. The long requested face reveal. Here it is. This is my face. Hi. Actually, this would be my second face reveal. If you recall from my LPSTube Day Award Ceremony, I surprised you guys with a face reveal that was totally a big shock for most of you. Okay, what was I saying? Oh geez. I'm not used to this. So if you've seen the face reveal on my LPSTube Day Award Ceremony, nice to see you again. If this is your first time seeing my face, well, welcome. We're happy to have you aboard. I don't really know what to say. No, I can't do this. Okay, let me recompose myself for a second. All right. So yeah. See, this is why I didn't show my face. Like, I'm so bad at social interaction, I can't even talk face to face to myself, to this camera. Hashtag relatable, guys. Okay, let's pretend that this time skip never happened and I'm not wearing different clothes right now, obviously. But in all honesty, I tried to film this video a week ago, but things got busy. College, homework. Why do you have to keep me busy all the time when I'm trying to film a video? And today is finally the day. Now that you guys finally know what I look like, I thought it'd be good to have a heart-to-heart, face-to-face discussion, answering some of the burning questions that you may have. Have I changed in the past couple of years that I've done a Q&A, or just in general, or anything you may want to know about me? A while ago, I put a story up on Instagram where you guys could leave your questions and I'm going to read them off. Also on YouTube, I left a community page where you guys could post your questions if you wanted to, and I'll try to answer as many as I can as well. And I'm sorry if I don't get to your question. I may not have time for yours, or I probably already answered it on the Q&A page on my website. If you haven't seen that, I'll link that down in the description below. But without further ado, let's just dive right into this Q&A session. So the first question comes from LPS Sugar Cookie Studio on Instagram. Do you watch anime? Yes, I've only watched a selected portion of anime. I'm not a die-hard fan of anime culture, but I know a lot of friends who are die-hard anime fans, and I respect that. Some of the animes I've watched are Studio Ghibli films like Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away, The Secret World of Arrietty. I also do watch the Pokemon series every now and then, though I'm still stuck on Diamond and Pearl, and there is a fly hovering near the camera. Go away. You weren't invited to this Q&A. Sorry about that. Next one comes from Shay Likes Roblox. What's your favorite TV series to watch when you're bored? This is kind of a no-brainer, but Steven Universe and Steven Universe Future. I know the show ended already, but I still enjoy binge-watching the episodes every now and then. I can't help myself. The crystal gem in me just like wants to relive all of Steven's exciting moments and adventures with the gems. I've also started rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix, and the timing honestly couldn't have been better for the series to come out on Netflix. Highly recommended if you haven't seen it. Some other series I watch are We Bare Bears, Owl House, Friends, but they took Friends off of Netflix. Sad face. The Good Place. Oh, I started watching New Girl. Oh, also it's rated TV 14. Do not watch that if you're younger. I don't know, there's just so many series at this point, but those were my top 5, I guess you could say. LPS_MoonlightXOX asks, before showing your face, did you ever consider showing your face? By the way, you're beautiful. Oh, thank you. But yes, I have considered showing my face before all this, but there have been a few bumps in the road that have put a hand to my chest and said, no, you're not doing this right now. I could go on all day about why it took me so long to do a face reveal after so many years, but I guess that's up to you guys. If you want to know more about that story, about why I didn't show my face for so long, just let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a storytime video. How do you get inspiration for your videos? A lot of my inspiration comes from everyday life, hence why behind the scenes is kind of slice of life-y. Fun fact, if you guys have seen the mall trip video from 2016, that was based off of a moment where my dad got stuck getting a manicure, and somehow it just fit in with other stories and experiences of me going to the mall, like when the little girl cuts in line. That actually happened in a moment in my life. I don't want to spoil the video if you hadn't seen it. Other sources of inspiration are just TV shows I've watched, books I've read. A lot of your favorite shows gain inspiration from earlier series or movies. And sometimes I like to casually throw in Steven Universe Easter eggs, bet you couldn't tell. And even some of my favorite video game franchises, as you can see. With an uninvited fly, get away, shoo! No, baby Luigi! I'll save you! This fly is just gonna be the death of me, I swear. Anyways, you can really gain inspiration from anything that you personally enjoy. It can be from video games, TV shows. Sometimes I gain inspiration from listening to instrumental music. Like, for example, listening to movie soundtracks. I got a lot of inspiration to work on Royal Secrets from listening to the original Hunger Games movie soundtrack. Pine_LPS asks, do you have any phobias or huge fears? Arachnophobia. Without a shadow of a doubt, I am terrified of spiders or any bugs that have long legs. Oh my god, literally last week there's this giant bug. I don't know what it was. It was like a cicada or something. Got in through my air vent and like scared the living daylights out of me at 1 a.m. in the morning. And I am not ashamed to say that if a bug invades my room or my bathroom, I don't care what time it is, I will scream for my parents to come and kill it because I am so afraid to touch it. I will literally have a major panic attack if a spider decides to jump scare me out of nowhere when I'm just minding my own business. And I'm sure a lot of you can probably relate as well, and arachnophobia is a really common fear. So if you're also scared of spiders, just know that you're not alone. Although, I have to really take a moment to appreciate my parents who have come and saved me all those years. Thanks, Mom and Dad. LPS3_freckles_209 asks, what do you do outside of LPS? Good question. Well, besides school and college and homework, I also like to draw. I've recently started drawing on Procreate recently. Not an ad, not sponsored by the way. But because I'm starting a new project on this channel, I really wanted to get the hang of digital drawing because a lot of my drawing is done on paper. As a matter of fact, I have my sketchbook with me right here and it's full of tons and tons of sketches. This is an actual sketch on paper that I've done on Justin, and this sketch served as the basis for the digital version, which I will insert right here. Also, I occasionally like to play video games, a lot of Animal Crossing recently. I also like to spend time with my family, take care of my pets. I have a bird and a doggo that needs to be looked after, and now that I'm in quarantine, I can spend more time with them. Every now and then I also love to bake, although I haven't been doing it recently because usually when you bake they come in bunches, and because we're under quarantine I have no one to share it with except my parents, who aren't really big on sugary foods. But I'm still trying to find new recipes that anyone can enjoy. I just recently finished making strawberry lemon infused water. But that's all the ones I can think of at the moment. LPS_Liza asks, have you told your friends about your LPS channel? As a matter of fact, yes, I have just begun to recently tell my friends about my YouTube channel. The very first people I told are 2 girls that I am no longer friends with. Other than that, I've recently started telling friends and family a lot more as I become more open about my channel. Everyone I've told, they support me and they don't think of me any differently, and I really appreciate that. LPS Bobas asks, do you ever think about quitting LPSTube, and is LPSTube Day stressful? So I'm not gonna lie, the thought about quitting LPSTube has crossed my mind a couple of times, though of course I'm not gonna act on it just yet. I'm gonna put in bold text right now, I am not quitting. I am staying on LPSTube for the foreseeable future. But as I'm growing up, I also kind of want to expand on other types of content, and I think this face reveal is definitely going to help me take that first step to expanding my content. And of course, I'm going to continue the series. It's just that I want to be able to share my other interests with you guys. I don't think you guys really know me that well. You guys know me based off of my characters. So after this face reveal, it'll be a good opportunity for you to get to know the real me and who I am. And is LPSTube Day stressful? I'm not gonna lie, it is an accumulation of 5 months of layered planning and like contacting people, setting up, and editing is probably the most extreme process involved. Especially this year, it's gotten to the point where my hard drive on my computer couldn't handle the amount of clips and almost filled up the hard drive to the point where I've had to export the file each time it filled the hard drive to the brim and move that clip to the backup hard drive, compress that clip, and then continue with adding video clips until it was finished. So yes, LPSTube Day, the process of making it is especially stressful, but seeing the end product all come together and seeing all the feedback that's received and reading the comments saying how much it gives you hope and how much it encourages you to keep making LPS videos, if it continues to revitalize the spirit of LPSTube every single year, then by all means, all that stress is 100% worth it. Emily Parker 1457 says, I am new, so I just want to know, is your cast real people? I wish. Sadly, no. But I can say that the first wave of behind the scenes characters I have are kind of based off of the different aspects of my personality. Like, for example, Starlight, she loves designing, she loves to sing. I'm kind of 1% of that personality type. Daisy, she's really organized, conscientious, is that how you say that? Conscientious, very organized, very detailed, stresses out if things go wrong. That is like 5% of me, I guess. I guess you could say they're all based on different aspects of my personality, but in the characters really exaggerate those traits, if that makes any sense. But that would be really cool if I had human counterparts of the behind the scenes cast. Anastasia 2 asks, what inspired you to start #DareUs? Okay, so backstory time. So before #DareUs even existed, I had a series called Club LPS. It was kind of its own rendition of LPS Lovers Candy TV. It had its own show that had updates about the channel, funny sketches, Q&As, you know, all that jazz. It got picked up for about 9 episodes from late 2012 to early 2014, but I decided to cancel the series because I personally lost interest in making the series. But then I knew that I needed a new slot to fill in the hole that Club LPS had left. But then I had an idea that came from the segment of the show called Truth, Dare, and/or Prank? Yeah, I couldn't come up with a creative title. In that segment, Layla, Justin, and Phineas would all have to participate in saying a truth, doing a dare, or pulling a prank on one another that you guys in the comments suggested. And I thought I would take liberty of the fact that you guys can get involved in shaping the story, but we would only use dares. Although if we're being honest, some of the dares incorporate pranks, so I guess we never really lost that Club LPS touch. And immediately the first episode blew up overnight. And that's when I had the epiphany, like, this is something people enjoy. They're the ones that are crafting the story. And lo and behold, #DareUs was born. Okay, I'm gonna be butchering this a little bit. Serrush_Azeh, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, asks, how's college and what are you studying? Well, so far, prior to the pandemic, college has been absolutely incredible. All the staff and students there are so welcome and loving, and I made tons of awesome friends. I will say that if you were having a hard time in high school like I did back in the day, college gives you a fresh start. I've been enjoying every single one of my classes, even the ones that aren't really associated with my major. I've even told one professor about my YouTube channel, and I've taken classes that can help me take it to the next level. So it's been really invigorating, and I'm always excited to go back, but now with this pandemic, I'm missing all my friends in the campus environment so much. And right now, I am currently majoring in psychology. And I know your first thought is probably like, what? I thought you were gonna be a film major. And I did consider, when I was applying for colleges, I did consider becoming a film major. From what I've heard, take what I say with a grain of salt, but from what I've heard, the film industry can be risky. You have to literally work your way through the bottom up to be able to accomplish, like, being a film director, a film editor, or whatever position you want to pursue in film. So from there I decided, oh well, I'm interested in how the human mind works, working with different emotions, and I've had experience with what mental health can be like, so I picked psychology. Again, I could go on and on about why I chose psychology as my major as opposed to film, but if you want to see a more in-depth video about why I chose psychology and what the psychology program is like, I guess that's up to you guys if you want to see that video, so you can just write it down in the comments below if you would like to see that. Emily.dd asks, how did you overcome social anxiety? So now for those of you who have been a fan of the channel since 2015, you probably know that I've struggled with social anxiety very, very bad in high school to the point where it was difficult to even like talk to total strangers. Anxiety in general is still a battle that I struggle with from time to time. It just really depends on my mood and how I'm taking care of myself and my well-being. In my senior year of high school, I actually went to a therapist because that's when my point of anxiety really heightened. And finishing my last year of high school was just all too much to take in. And I have to say that it was probably one of the best decisions I made during this time period. Seeing a therapist throughout that 1 year definitely helped me come up with different coping strategies and recognize where my anxiety really stemmed from. And college became a good change of scenery for me as well. A lot of my social anxiety in high school really stemmed from the fact that these students knew about my history from K through 12 because we all were within the same school district. But with college, I was outside of that district. I was no longer associated with students who knew about my past. I was able to start fresh and kind of really begin a new chapter in my life where I could express myself for however I wanted to be without anybody knowing who I was in the past. And over time, college life gave me that sense of independence that encouraged me to really take initiative of my own life rather than have my parents or my friends or anyone else being a part of my everyday decisions. So I don't know exactly what made me turn a 180, but what I can say is that moving to college, starting that new chapter, was a big contributor to me overcoming social anxiety. Charlie.Lottie asks, how did you make the movie theater seats that you use in the award ceremony? So let me preface this by saying this year we didn't have the theater seats and I actually made double seats prior to the pandemic to fit more characters. But for those of you who have seen the 2019 ceremony, it all takes place in a theater with theater seats. And I made them out of an egg carton. So what I did was I took 1/2 of the egg carton, the part where they had the slots for the eggs, then I split that in half, cut the top edges of each half to shape them to be more like a theater seat, and then I painted over them with 2 layers of red, and that's how I made them. I actually got this idea from LPS Hannah because she used an egg carton for her theater seats when she did her LPS Hannah 7-year anniversary awards. I'll link that in the description below if you want to see that. LPS Cat Fox Studios asks, are you in a relationship and do you have any siblings? The answer is no to both of those questions, and I've never been in a relationship ever in my life. RIP my dating life. But for real though, being a single Pringle isn't necessarily a bad thing. I always tell people who are sad that they're not in a relationship to really embrace being single, because having that independence and focusing on your own individuality, your career path, or your academics, it isn't necessarily a bad thing at all, and I'm enjoying it while I can. And no, alas, I am an only child, unless you count my pets as siblings, and the answer is still no. LPS Go Wild TV asks, how do you balance between school and LPS? Please help, I'm a struggling college student. Well, there's no one-size-fits-all answer to this question. For me, balancing school and LPS, it just took a matter of getting to know my college environment, and it also comes down to, are you close to your studio? Are you able to bring your camera? Are you able to bring your LPS to your dorm? Are you going to be rooming with people? There's a lot of factors to consider when figuring out how to balance between school and LPS. For me, my college was not so far away. I was able to come home on some weekends. And one way I was able to establish that balance was staying ahead on my schoolwork. I know that sounds really cliche because they tell you that in high school, but the same goes for college as well. If you're able to stay on top of your classes, that gives you more free time. And usually most college syllabuses have a schedule laid out, so you can literally plan ahead from there how you want to lay out your homework. It all just comes down to figuring out a schedule that works best for you and figuring out how much you want to film during those breaks when you are home. The main basis for balancing school and LPS is just making a plan and staying on schedule. I cannot emphasize that enough. Lily LPS asks, what is something positive that you think will come out of sharing your face? Well, for one, I feel like a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. The stress of having to hide who I was from my friends, my family, you guys even, hiding myself from you guys. The moments where I was scared that a reflection on a screen or a reflection from my LPS's eye would give away the face reveal. So that's one less thing I've had to worry about. Also, another thing that was positive with my face reveal is that now I can finally expand to other types of content. Because I've seen a lot of LPS tubers engage in certain types of videos where they show their face, like they'll do LPS edits or LPS reaction videos, and I've been wanting to do those types of videos for so long, but now I can. And another positive thing is I think this definitely bolstered my self-confidence, my social confidence, because when I first started my channel, it was during an awkward period in my life where I was getting bullied and some of my friendships were changing. Again, middle school's a really awful time for anyone when you're going through a series of changes. And at the time I wasn't allowed to show my face on YouTube because I was a minor, and I was able to compromise with my parents saying that, hey, what if I use LPS in place of my face? And they agreed with that. And for the longest time I was terrified of anyone who found out. And I am gonna admit that I was really self-conscious when talking about LPSTube or YouTube with any of my close friends in school or with my family. They were really unsure about it. But now seeing how far it's come, now I've gotten to a point in my life where I feel more comfortable in my skin and thus more comfortable to talk to you guys one-on-one like a real YouTuber. And just the fact that you guys really enjoy what I do regardless of the way I look is words can't even describe. I just appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Bella Rosa _LPS asks, since you couldn't attend LPSCon this year, will you attend next year? Absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt, I would be more than happy to attend next year's LPSCon. But I do want to point out that even though this year's LPSCon in-person event has been canceled, there are currently plans in motion for a virtual event. So anyone around the world can participate in this virtual event. I don't really know the full details. This is just information coming out of the LPSCon Instagram post that was made. I'll link that down in the description below. But be sure to stay tuned for that, because from what I heard, the admission prices might be a bit cheaper than, say, if you were going to the actual event. So if you weren't able to afford a ticket, hopefully the price for the virtual event can be more affordable and you'll be able to talk and see me and other LPS tubers live and in person, just online. But yes, I would definitely love to attend the in-person version of LPSCon in 2021. LPS May TV asks, favorite food? Does popcorn count? I know it's not a meal, it's a snack, but popcorn is something that I can eat all the time and never get sick of. Whether it be caramel corn, whether it's salted or unsalted, I'll eat any type of popcorn. But my favorite meal at the moment, it would have to be ramen. I mean, given that I'm a college student, the stereotype goes that I'm a big fan of ramen. Definitely the tonkatsu ramen would have to be my favorite ramen dish of all time. What's your favorite drawing that you've created? My favorite drawing that I created, I'll insert that right here. This is my favorite drawing. I can't see it, but with the magic of editing, it'll be right there. What was the first video you made? Well, the very first video I made, not on YouTube? Oh, it would have to be, okay, so before I joined the LPS fandom, I was into webkins at the time. But it was actually the first time I ever got to hold a camera in my life. This is when I was around, I think, maybe 8 or 9 years old. We had this old tape recorder. Yes, we used tape recorders. Back in my day, we had to use this thing called tape recorders, where you would insert a tape and push it in, re-record, and you would have to rewind. What even was that? So I filmed with my webkins. I don't remember what it was about. It was just me playing around with my webkins and voice acting for them. And my dog is outside. Scotty, false alarm! You don't have to... Okay. What is he? What are you? Come on! Oh no, baby Luigi! Are you done? Here's the culprit of the loud barking. What was you barking about? Are you catching up with your friends? Are they doing well on Facebook? Yeah? Okay. But anyways, the first video that I made on YouTube, ironically, was about Scotty. It was about him doing these tricks. I posted this in March of 2011, just baby me when I was like 12 years old. It was poorly filmed, to put it bluntly. The lighting was dark, my camera was shaking, it was vertical. Yeah, it was not the best first video. It's on private now, so you can't see it, but I mean, I guess I could do a reaction video, maybe, in the future. Bianca Alves de More, sorry if I said that wrong. Have you painted your hair? Well, as a matter of fact, I have dyed my hair before. Right now this is a strip of indigo, but as you wash it out it becomes lighter, so it looks more purplish than indigo. The first time I've dyed my hair was back in 2011. I got red highlights in my hair. Yeah, I did it LPS popular style. I dyed my hair with red highlights. It was just a grand old time for middle school me. But eventually I stopped retouching my highlights around 8th or 9th grade because the red would always fade out every time I washed it, and it just wasn't for me. It wasn't until around my 18th birthday when I asked my mom if I could get a purple streak in my hair, and I legit thought she was gonna say no, but she was like, okay, and I was like, wait, oh, well, really? Yeah, just like that? And she's like, yeah, let's go. I did not expect that. I guess I was really waiting for the right moment because 18 is kind of like one of the big like milestones where it's like, oh, you're like officially considered an adult now. So I waited until then to ask to get my hair dyed. I got my hair dyed a amethyst purple streak, a little bit like a lighter purple red version of this streak. Yes, the same location. And I maintained this color for about 3 years, but recently, about 3 months ago, after I turned 21, I decided I'm getting bored of this purple color, and why don't we change it up a bit? I was originally gonna add blue streaks to the purple strip that I already had, but I was at the salon the day before the governor of California announced the shelter-in-place order, and they were about to close up shop. Like literally they were all out of amethyst purple, and they were all out of blue color. And I was like, well, do you have any other colors? And they said, well, we have indigo, we can put in an indigo streak. And I was like, okay, why not? Fun fact, my mom did not know I was gonna change my hair color. So as soon as I walked in the car, she legit almost had a heart attack. She's like, whoa, what did you do to your hair? Legit, if I change the color of my streak or even mention the thought of changing the color of this, my mom will just give me a disapproving look, just like, it's okay though, she supports me, she supports my decisions with my hair, she's just worried that I will go full on, like make my hair rainbow colored or seafoam green. Blue Jay asks, where do you see yourself in the next few years? I definitely see myself going to grad school for my psychology degree to get my master's in psychology. In case you didn't know, I am finishing my third year, my junior year of my undergrad in college. And when you finish your undergrad, you get a bachelor's degree. And if you do an additional 2 to 4 years in a graduate school, you get a master's degree. And from there you can get your PhD or postdoctorate, you can get additional degrees. And I definitely at least want to get my master's degree because I don't think I can get very far with a bachelor's in psychology. And of course, I can definitely see myself still making YouTube videos for you guys, LPS and otherwise. But that's all I can see myself doing as of right now. I honestly don't know where I'm going at this point, career-wise. I don't know where I want to take my psychology degree. And as long as I'm continuing my channel and expanding my content, I still don't even know. I can't think that far ahead. I go through this like existential like thought process of like, what am I doing with my life and where do I want to end up? Because I still see myself doing YouTube and grad school, but I just don't know where that's gonna end up. Maybe I'll do an update in the next Q&A and get back to you on that. Ooh, this is a good question. Lily Lilac LPS asks, how did you get your YouTube username? That's actually a good question considering that it's been 10 years and I have not changed my username. Even though everyone tells me, oh, if you don't like your username, you can always change it to LPS Puppy Lover. I guess I'm just worried that if I change my username, like no one will be able to find me. But anyways, keep in mind, this is back in 2010. This is the day before I turned 12. So this was 11-year-old me going on 12. At the time, it was a fan account. I wasn't posting videos. So I just came up with, okay, I love dogs. I was crazy about dogs at the time. So I came up with Dog Lover, but that name was taken. And I came up with Puppy Lover, but that name was taken. And I was like, okay, maybe I should add numbers to make it more interesting. And I literally remember that I specifically wanted numbers that would end with 3 because I've seen usernames that had the number 3 in the end of their name and just for some reason had a nice ring to it, something that people could remember. So when people think da 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 3 is just a very unique prime number that anyone can remember. ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, things coming in sets of 3. So I just came up with the first 2 numbers randomly on the spot and then added 3 in the end. And lo and behold, Puppy Lover 863 was born. Someone really knows their LPS tubers right now. That one fangirl asks, who's your favorite out of the Sanders signs? Mine's Virgil. I love my dark, strange emo son. Aw, we love our dark, strange emo son. So for those of you who don't know, Sanders Sides is a series created by this Viner turned YouTuber called Thomas Sanders. And he is just an angelic little being that we have on YouTube right now. Highly recommend subscribing to his channel. His content is just so wholesome. But Sanders Sides is a series where we have the character, Thomas, talk to different aspects of his personality. We have the prince guy representing his creativity. We have the dad guy representing his morality. We have the teacher guy representing his logic. And then we have his emo guy, like his strange dark son, as his anxiety. I'm not gonna spoil anything for those of you who have watched this series. I'm just gonna mention those 4 main characters. But my favorite Sanders sides, it would have to be a tie between Patton and Logan, the morality and logic sides respectively. I just really enjoy their the dichotomy of morality and logic and seeing how they interact throughout the whole series and as they develop. And we both wear glasses too, so I mean, I guess that makes canon sense. But seriously, I love all the Sanders sides in general. Scott.Georgina asks, what is your favorite color? It can be more than one if you want. I mean, you could probably tell by my hair, and if you just look around my room, I'll probably do a room tour later. My favorite color is purple, any shade of purple. But a close second would have to be a tie between blue and pink. Okay, now we're moving on to the YouTube community post questions. So Bookshelf LPS on YouTube asks, what LPSTube ceremony has been your favorite and why? That's such a good question. I really enjoy like the process of filming all my ceremonies. It would be biased to say that this year's ceremony is like my favorite because it's recent, which it is, but another ceremony that I really enjoyed filming was the 2019 award ceremony. It was the first time where Daisy and Justin weren't the main hosts of the ceremony. I'm not going to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it. And just having a collective bunch of eccentric characters come and be the hosts when all the categories were shuffled and everything, just playing off of those plot points it made filming a lot more interesting and a lot more fun than I had done in previous ceremonies that have been more structured in the past. And also that was the year where I had a lot more LPS tubers send in the winning speeches, and it was also the first time where I've had a couple of LPS tubers co-host a couple of categories, so it was a lot of fun getting to collaborate with the different LPS tubers and have them host for the categories they won in the past. CoolFox330 asks, do you plan on making a wedding video for Justin and Daisy? Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, but I'm not gonna give you any details just yet. Justin and Daisy do need some time to plan everything out, as all couples need months of time to plan out a wedding, so stay tuned for that. And this next question will be the last one for this video. What inspired you to make the yearly LPS award ceremonies? And do you watch Miraculous Ladybug or She-Ra? And for those of you who don't know, Brown Bee TV, the creator of LPS Fabulous, she was the one that came up with LPSTube Day. She made a post on Instagram that was like, hey, we should all have a holiday that dedicates LPSTube and brings the LPSTube community together. And in my head, I was like, well, I want to be able to contribute. How should I celebrate? And then that got me thinking back to how the Oscars, award shows like the Oscars and the Grammys brought together everyone in the film industry, and I was like, well, what if I did that, but with LPS? So that's what I did. But at the time, I was awarding my own series for the first year, and then the second year, I did the LPSTube tag. But 2016 was the first year where I began recognizing other LPS tubers. And then 2017 kind of evolved to the point where you guys could suggest and nominate. It was all fan-based. It wasn't based on my decisions. And they all evolved into the ceremonies that you all know and love today. And if you're in the Miraculous Ladybug or She-Ra fandom, you guys are going to be really mad at me. I have not watched either one of those series yet. I heard they're both really good series. I've just been so busy with other series that I'm watching and other projects in school that I've been working on. I just never really got around to watching it. Though they're on the list for sure. I've heard a lot of good things about She-Ra and Miraculous Ladybug, so just keep in mind those are on the list, and I'll get to them when I get the chance. And that's all the questions I have to deliver for you today. Again, I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question, and it all comes down to the ones I haven't answered yet or haven't answered recently for the purposes of this face reveal / Q&A. I just want to say that, again, thank you to everyone who has been so patient. This was a really long time coming, and I'm so glad that now I can finally show you guys the real me, and that there will be more videos to come where you'll get to know me face to face and know me for more than just LPS. Oh, but before we go, it is time to announce this video's shoutout winners. That's right, the shoutouts are back, and these comments came from the prompt from the video LPS #DareUs episode 17. And the winners for this video are Leah Anderson and LPS Galaxy the Wolf. Congratulations, guys! Your YouTube usernames will be written on the Puppy Lover 863 canvas. And if you would like a chance to have your YouTube username written on the canvas, if you haven't already, all you have to do is leave a comment down below using the #FaceReveal and telling me what other kinds of face videos you would like to see. And if you leave a comment down below using the hashtag while answering the prompt, you'll be automatically entered into a drawing for a chance to have your YouTube username written on the canvas. And be sure to stick around for the next video or two to find out who those winners are. So, with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and especially for being so patient. Again, this was a long time coming, and I appreciate everyone's support. I love you all so much. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!